everybody, this is Steve Moore, owner of Run More, Carroll County's premier running shop, a brick and mortar store here in Westminster, Maryland, just shy of the Maryland-PA border. Today we're doing a new review of the Brooks Adrenaline 19. This is a totally different shoe from what you've probably been accustomed to with Brooks Adrenalines in years past. It's version 19 because they've been making this shoe for a long time. You see a high number, that means it's been a successful shoe for the Brooks family for a long time. And this has been probably like the crown jewel of their stability shoe for quite a long time. It's pretty risky for a brand as big as Brooks to change a shoe that has been so popular for them for a long time. But as technology and science has been evolving, we're seeing that things that we've thought about pronation and stability and motion control over the years may have been wrong. And so that we're starting to see the market changing a little bit in how we're doing shoes. In fact, by 2020, Brooks is taking away all of their stability posting, things that we've been accustomed to in pretty much every running shoe with stability over the years. So I'm going to get a little nerdy, a little geeky here, so hopefully you can follow along with what I'm talking about. So we're going to start with the Adrenaline 18. So as you can see, we've got our posting, we've got some extra density here on the inside. So what this shoe is doing, and pretty much all of the shoes in that stability family, what they're doing is helping that runner who's flat-footed, who over-pronates, who's rolling on the inside, and it's balancing them out. Pretty simple, right? You're landing on the inside, your shoe's running the inside, you're flat, you're weak on the inside, your medial side, and this shoe is just going to push you out. It's stiff on the midfoot, you can feel the arch, you can feel how firm and stiff it is in the midfoot as soon as you put it on. It's been a great shoe. A lot of people are used to that feeling in a stability shoe, and why wouldn't you? When you're flat, it feels good under your arch. It feels really solid. The problem is that a lot of that idea of your foot is rolling down and we're pushing you out, that's a fantastic plan when you're running on like a treadmill, when you're running on a track. All those flat surfaces, I can kind of get behind that. Think about most of your runs. If you're running out on the road, for example, you're kind of all over the place, right? You're dealing with the undulation of the road. So if you're running and now you're running, like, let's just say you're running an out and back along the road and you're kind of all the way here. You're running on I'm a little exaggerating here, but you're running on sort of an angle. Well, this shoe is now pushing you in weird spots because maybe you don't need that much because the road is moving in different ways. Sort of the same logic if you're thinking about trail shoes. You don't really see a lot of stability trail shoes because you're moving around so much. There's a lot of other reasons why they did this, but just in my head, that's one of the things that I'm excited about, and I can seriously get behind in theory. I can get behind the theory as to why we're changing it. So what they've done to help is just guardrails. It's what a lot of other shoes have been doing, and now Brooks is adopting it. So the guardrails are on each side of the shoe, on the medial and the lateral side. So if you are going to the outside, or if you're going to the inside, or if you're just in the middle, those guardrails are only there and they're only going to enact if you need them, right? So, the analogy that we've always been told is like bumpers in bowling. If you're throwing strikes, if you're going right down the middle, you'll never hit those bumpers. But if you have that bad ball and it hits one of those sides, those bumpers are going to protect you, bounce you right back in towards the pins. Same idea on the Adrenaline. Same idea we're seeing on a couple of other shoes that are coming out this next coming years is that we're going to protect you on the sides and activate only when needed. So I slipped on the new 11.5, that's my size, and compared it to the 11.5, the last Adrenaline. I felt like the sizing was pretty similar. I didn't need an extra wide. I didn't need to go change half up or half down. Standard sizing on it. But the flexibility in the midfoot was apparent immediately. I have a really good high arch and I tend to go to the outside of my foot. So somebody like me, this shoe is just a terrible shoe for me. It just pushes me so far out. I can immediately feel it in my hips, my knees, because it's pushing me to the outside all the time. It's constantly pushing me to the outside, which is already what I'm doing. Now having these guardrails, I could totally run in this shoe because I go to the outside, so boom, guardrail activated, pow, pushes me right back into the middle. I can feel it, and I can feel how much more flexible it is. Just walking around my shop, I put one shoe on one foot, one on the other. You can hear myself crashing down the Adrenaline 18 because of that stiffness in the midfoot. You can kind of get that slappy sound because there's no give. None of that in the 19. I sounded soft. I never thought I could be somebody who could run the Adrenaline. I could totally see myself running in that shoe for some long distance stuff. They haven't changed much of like the heel to toe drop. Still 12 millimeters. We did add a little bit of weight. I didn't notice it even on side by side. We went from 10 ounces on the men's to 11. We went from 9 ounces to 9.6 on the female. Just a little bit, but I couldn't feel any of the difference. Even when I ran with one shoe on one foot, one on the other, the only thing that felt better was the flexibility of the midfoot felt 10 times better. We did add a little bit to the price because why wouldn't we? So the price went from $120 to $130. I think we're going to start seeing all of our shoes in that $120 range. We're going to start price going up. So the price went up to $130, but I feel like this, to me, fits and feels like the best Adrenaline I've put on. And maybe I'm just saying that because I've never been able to run the Adrenaline, but this is a shoe that I could totally get behind, and I feel like it's going to really extend Brooks' the handle on that category, because now when I see someone who comes in who is an outside lander that I would never think to put that in, that I'm so used to pulling like a, I don't know, like an Asics Nimbus or something, I can now totally feel this shoe and feel comfortable with it, that it's going to give them that outside support, bounce them to the inside, while also our flat-footed friends that are going to the inside, we're going to get that same responsiveness, that same guardrail activation to get them neutral. So feel free, check them out on our website. If you use promo code RUNMORE, you'll save yourself 10% and you'll get free shipping from us. And if you have any questions, leave them below in the comment section. I try my best to get back to it. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Thank you so much for checking us out, and I will see you around town. Thanks.